Previously on Legends of Aelos, we return to the story as the Duskmire Bogger makes landfall on the Kelpie Isle. The party sees a Nariman male, clothed in robes similar in coloration to Karun. Upon seeing the party in control of the ship, however, the Nariman turns to flee. Karun, eager to question his kin, implores the party to set after him and make sure he does not get away. Rowan, Asher, and Karun proceed down the rope ladder to the shore, where there are now two salty pirates, presumably from Kane's crew, that seek to intercept the three party members as they pursue the lone Nariman. However, Asher manages to reach the individual first and hold him there in place. Though initially combative in their disposition, the presence of the dual-wielding Rowan, the fleet-footedness of Asher, and the enigmatic, persistent questioning by Karun of the Nariman male sway the pirates to sheathe their weapons and leave matters beyond their realm of comprehension alone. They are just swords for hire, after all. Now unhindered by the pirate hirelings, Karun continues to press the Nariman, who we now see to be in a possessed or enthralled state, his eyes bloodshot as if they had not blinked in weeks. To Rowan and Asher, the Inquisition is quite cryptic, though one thing is most certainly clear. The situation is dire enough that Karun is visibly distressed, his normally calm demeanor vexed, with stress becoming apparent on his brow. Their inquisition proves fruitless, and after confiding with Elena, Karun requests Rowan and Asher to bind their captive until they can sort out what is transpiring here. It's at this moment Ace and Briar move past Karun into the jungle off the edge of the beach, tasked by Balin to retrieve hardy wood to repair the ship with. The three remaining party members return to the ship, with the two previous pirates joining them under the new employ of Asher, to assist Balin with patching the major damage to the hull with what current supplies are on hand. It's not long, though, before concern for the two that had departed mounts, as the length of their absence grows. Considering the lack of knowledge of what the overall current state of the island is, Karun, Rowan, and Asher form a search party with Elena and Bolt in tow. They make their way into the jungle, and after some time, they happen upon the site which the party suspects is where Briar and Ace had attempted to gather wood. Signs of combat bode ill, and the party attempts to follow what little evidence is presented, hoping to find their compatriots well at the end. Their concerns are well-founded, as soon they are set upon by diminutive little pygmies slashing, stabbing, and shooting at the party as they dash below the cover of the jungle floor. Their size and speed, combined with the cover, all provide to be a hindrance in the fight, but not too great to overcome, as the party eventually defeats the threat. Our group continues until they eventually happen upon a settlement that, despite being foreign to them, has a few familiar elements to Karun, particularly the way in which the canopy-bound residencies are interconnected by a network of vines, something similar to him from Briar's hometown. Before the party can ponder much more, however, the residents of the settlement present themselves, leery of the party that has come to their village. In an attempt to communicate, as a language barrier becomes immediately apparent, Karun mentions a name, much to Asher's surprise: Tambrin. Now we flip to Ace and Briar, having gone into the jungle and discovered a suitable tree to harvest. Ace proceeds to begin chopping wood, but it isn't long before a hungry denizen of the jungle discovers them, a massive, constricting snake. The reptile manages to bind most of Ace, but it is unable to bind his hands, a fatal mistake. With assistance from Briar and his two powerful fists, he fells the beast, and they proceed to gather their bearings after the fight. It is not long, though, before they are set upon by another group, an organized one, which sets upon them intelligently with paralyzing darts that manage to subdue Briar and Ace both, despite their best efforts. The two of them are taken to a village, but it isn't long before dispositions on both sides change. Not only is this place conveniently the destination of Briar, but it is also conveyed to us that this is the adoptive home of Ace. The two party members' experiences stand in juxtaposition from each other, however. While Ace is reunited with family and even gets the opportunity to spar with his brother Mordecai, we learn that Briar's uncle, Tambrin, is no longer of flesh and blood, having been assassinated by more of the twisted Nariman that currently occupy the island. His soul now resides in a sapling nurtured by the mortal remains interred beneath. Briar is stricken with grief, and Ace does what he can to console her. Eventually, there is a commotion, and as Ace will soon discover, that's brought about by the entry of the search party to the village. Now, the party stands moments from reuniting, and it's just before this we shall continue the story of the legends of Aelos.
I suppose at this very moment, Mordecai is charging you guys with the spear. Well, not necessarily charging, but he has it raised and he has an aggressive posture. So that's where we currently are. Is he's looking to hurt you guys. So with this, Mordecai, spear raised, as Karan, Asher, Elena, and Rowan approach the gate of this druidic people's grove.
Did you just say Tamrin?
Yes, Tambrin. We're here to see Tambrin. How do you know Tambrin?
That is my father-in-law. Wait, where's Briar?
Your father?
Well, I'm gonna look back to Mordecai as he's like, I don't know who he is, obviously, but is he slowing up or is he?
He's kind of has like, he's not necessarily like charging to attack, but he does have like his spear ready, and he's like kind of like, you guys stay back kind of thing, with the guards kind of taking the two that you initially saw at the front. By this point, Ace and Briar, Briar, this is happening kind of behind you at the entrance, and you kind of turn around and notice these familiar faces. And Ace, as you're standing there facing her, you just look up and see, this same.
Oh no! Oh, Mordecai,
no.
Wait!
Wait, Mordecai, wait!
Those are her friends.
These are allies of ours, friends.
Are you okay, Briar?
Briar.
We can hear them and converse with them, or they have to approach.
Yeah, at this point, they're kind of like making their way towards you guys to kind of Mordecai's kind of. And
Friends.
He actually kind of like eyes you for a bit, Karan, and he has just like almost fear in his eyes, but also like anger, and he's.
Does Rowan see that?
Yes, I mean it's pretty like he's looking at all of you, but then he kind of keeps coming back to Karan a little bit.
With that, Rowan is gonna kind of put himself not like giving off like super protective, but aware that there's a little bit of tension.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan's just gonna kind of
divert attention
a little bit. Yeah.
I have like one hand up, and I'm actually going to like reach out to Briar as the Ace and her are approaching.
While his arms are out, I'm gonna drop my teacup and I'm gonna run as fast as I can and just fling myself into him and hug him, then just cry.
Briar, where's your uncle?
What happened?
What's wrong?
You're all right.
How do you know my uncle?
Is the name?
God, he's dead.
He's what?
The people they killed him.
I'm just gonna grab the back of your head and like pull on my shoulder and just, oh my God, it's Briar. I'm so sorry.
Rowan is going to turn to Mordecai and kind of put his hand out for a handshake. Friends.
Mordecai he realizes, at this point that you guys, are companions, and the rest of the people that they had mentioned earlier that had come looking for them. He's a kind of a towering figure. He stands about 8 foot, even at Rowan's size, but he, kind of massive, kind of slowly reaches his hand out. He takes the spear to his left hand and kind of reaches his hand out.
No, this.
Are you saying that in common? That
friends,
just saying
yes.
Friends.
Rowan. Yeah.
This. My wife is your cousin. I was sent here to find my father-in-law, Tambrin.
Kolya?
Oh no.
We
As this
just
being
found
said,
out.
Ace is gonna be like, this is gonna suck. Uh, he screams over to Midian, if these are my allies I was talking to you about with the ship. Could we get more food? And I kind of like try to gesture everybody, the rest of the party, over to the fire that we were all kind of sitting around eating our food and
Rowan's
trying
gonna
to.
give a warm embrace to Ace. I'm happy to see you guys are alive. I thought the worst. You guys were gone
Yeah.
for a while.
Believe me, I thought the worst too. It's a surprising interaction. I'll have to catch you up.
Rowan's gonna put his hand out for another handshake with Ace.
And he meets you at it more of that like that knight's handshake where it's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does he see Bolt?
Yes. Hold on.
You sly dog.
There's Bolt. Oh, God, I'm glad to see you. I was worried. I couldn't have lived with myself if something happened to you.
What happened to not having that adventure blood in you, huh?
Well, you get a fire under your butt and you'll move. That's what. And you were a mighty strong fire, my friend.
As he goes to kind of go for like a side hug with Bolt and grabs him and kind of brings him over to the fire, kind of quiet, taking him away from obviously the emotional interaction that's about to happen, separating that from this, knowing that Briar is now in good hands with people that are better at calming, you know.
Briar, I'm. What happened?
Well, we're here. Well, Kuron is here because there are people like Kuron. And they killed him.
Never me did this.
No. The vision. I shouldn't have. Fuck. How am I going to?
We'll tell her together.
Where are the remains?
Well, he said 3. Now, he's over by the fire, staying warm, with a glass of tea. We'll go take a seat. We'll talk. Karan.
Yes, bro.
I really hope you're not very close to any of the people we come up. I'm just gonna pat him on the cheek and start walking towards my dead uncle's tree body.
I'm going to take a moment and just kind of think internally on that, and then follow behind the two of them as they walk over to the fire and join everybody else.
By this point, Midian, when you originally asked to get people food and stuff, he immediately went into the tent. He comes out with like this whole tray of just teas that he's kind of brewed up really quick.
Before Rowan would like to stop Briar and kind of usher her in for a hug.
I
See
will.
her upset and just give her a nice, just a firm, strong hug, and then put his hands on her shoulders and say, "If you need anything, we're here. Talk to us." And then he's going to turn to Asher, and he's going to put his hand on your shoulder, Asher, and just make a strong eye contact. Say, "You as well. I'm so sorry for your loss." Both of you.
So as everyone's kind of getting together into this, around this pit, and food's being passed around, Ace would kind of like to speak up a little bit. And I know I haven't been very talkative through our first engagement, and I might have been a little to myself. I'd have to apologize to that. This surprise interaction that we have had with the people of this village and Midian and Mordecai are some surprise family that I'd never thought I'd ever get to meet. They're in trouble. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know it's people that are like Corone. And I ask that you guys help them. They're very important to me. I've already told Briar that I shall help her with whatever she needs. And I apologize that you have to go through this.
That's too
I
hard.
hope. But I hope you guys are able to help in the attacks that are done on this to these people, to my new family. If you do that, I will forever be in your guys' debts.
Rowan is gonna put his fist over his heart and say, "You have my swords. Don't have to ask."
Thank you.
You're muted.
Family's everything.
Yes, it is. To me.
And then he's gonna look at Midian. Midian, do you have anything a little bit stronger for our friend over there, Asher? It looks like tea is not going to do it.
Stronger
Yeah.
too.
He kind of like thinks for just a moment, looks back at you and smiles, and then heads back to his tent right away, and immediately comes back out with this kind of like this large like flagon, and would not be good to soil the teacups. We will need something different for this. And he kind of has like the stack of these like kind of almost like hollowed out just logs that are kind of carved into and hollow to just like, I mean, a good set about like this.
Make a containing receptacle of some sort.
Yes.
I would like mine filled to the top, please.
You may not want to do that much. We are very big, and this make us all over the place. You are very small. You probably die. Not good.
With that, Rowan is going to take a tea instead. and nod to Midian and hold it up as a thank you. And is there a spot next to Karan by any chance? Is Karan sitting? Or
it's a really good like community gathering kind of fireplace with kind of these like log chairs kind of all around it, and kind of a jungle gravel pit.
I was probably most immediately standing next to Davner and Briar.
Davner.
And you were just done
Whoops.
hugging us.
Whoops.
So
Okay,
you
so
would be right there.
Yeah.
Briar, there's a ceremony I would like you to help me with, if you do not mind.
As long as tell me about it so I can make sure that it's okay with our people too.
It's come here, come along, and I'll sit cross-legged in front and pull out a pouch of soil. Like, this was from his farm.
Mm.
I want us to give a little bit of the soil to him.
Okay, and a little bit of rum too, yes? Mm.
Yes, and after Briar says that, Ace takes one of these big glasses and he pours one out for the homies. Straight up.
Midian just kind of looks at you.
I'm gonna like pull out a water skin and be like, rum is for us.
So I'll grab Temperance Tree Puppy. And we'll just get close to that and we'll do your little ritual, yeah.
So yeah, I'll hand you some soil and we'll kind of sprinkle along the base and basically water the plant and
I'm gonna dip my finger in the jungle rum and I'm just gonna drop a little bit on his tree face.
I'm just kidding.
He's quickly turning into Baby Groot. I love it.
Gives.
Soon he'll be a teenager, and then it's all over.
Yeah, as you look into this, at this point, it's canon. It's jungle rum. It's actually kind of, it's pretty, like, it's dark, pretty dark with kind of like gold undertones in it. But then if you look at like the froth, kind of interestingly enough, is kind of like pink. It's like a pink froth to it. It's kind of interesting. Some way that they make this from the different fruits and stuff from the. But it's actually it's strong, but it is sweet, like very sweet. Like you're like talking. This is a margarita of
yeah,
Aelos.
it's like you made a margarita. That's literally
Dangerous.
For the fans that don't know, that is our DM's choice of drink is margarita for sure.
While they're doing that, I'm sure Rowan is kind of watching, but he's going to try to talk to Karun. He's gonna walk up and, you okay?
I'm as well as one can be, all things considered. Honestly, I think I will feel a bit better after I've spoken with all of you. There's a lot that needs to be said. I think that you deserve to know, but I only want it to be us, our party, and perhaps a few others here. I was thinking Ace might be able to help that. He seems to be fairly familiar with the residents.
Ace kind of looks at you and he kind of leans over like on his knees and he Karun, I don't blame you. And in the time that I've been with you, I don't think you're like these people that they've described, but if you stab me in the back, I will destroy you.
I don't think we have to go that far, Ace.
Wow.
It's good preface, though. Good preface.
I can understand.
There's just a little bit of like,
Awful similar.
It looks like a chicken, it smells like a chicken, it walks like a chicken. But he still trusts you, and he knows that there is a difference between you and them. Just okay.
This man fought next to us, Ace. I don't think he's going to do such a thing.
I trust him. But my trust is a lot, and if it's broken,
well,
it's hard.
I can to make sure to never break that trust. I certainly don't take that as an idle threat. I believe that you're a man of conviction. So if you promise that you will come down on me were I to double cross you, I certainly do take that to heart, but I promise I'm nothing like these people who seem so familiar to outsiders.
What time?
Precisely why. Yes.
Sorry, no. Yeah, it is, but I thought you were done talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah.
What time of the day is it? Are we?
It's still some daylight left. Because if you think about it, when we first set off into the jungle, there was about 5 hours of daylight left, and I would say you guys have probably been here for, in all the different time that it's taken, probably about 3 hours. So you're looking about 2 hours more until it starts to become nightfall.
Okay, so we'll definitely have to spend the night here then before we try to do anything. Okay. Well then, unless if there's anything else anyone wants to say, I would have Midian come over, and ask about sleeping arrangements where we could possibly stay here for the night and then discuss this temple tomorrow, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Privately. I don't want to.
You're saying you want private to Midian.
Well, yeah, that's what I was
He
trying
wouldn't
to
be
get.
offended. You get the sense that he wouldn't be like, yes, I understand. I will arrange this. Also, I would like opportunity to talk to you at some point as well.
Of
But
course.
to get to know our guests. But you are friends of my son, and so you are friends of mine. And also, forgive me for my poor woman. If perhaps you also speak Elven, I do speak better than that as well.
Well, then I'll respond in kind and say in Elven, whatever you prefer.
Rowan is going to walk up to, what's his name again?
Midian or Mordecai?
Midian. Okay, Midian.
Mordecai's his brother.
Midian is
Midian,
the chieftain father, yes.
Rowan's going to walk up to Midian and say, and extend his hand as he did to Ace and Mordecai, and say thank you for welcoming us in Elvish to him.
It is our pleasure. You are welcome. I am Midian.
Nice to meet you.
And your name?
My name is Rowan.
Pleasure to meet you.
Karan, a pleasure. And thank you.
I will have arrangements made for you to have privacy and sleeping arrangement best that we can.
Thank you. Sleep would be nice.
You see, he kind of like immediately gets to that. He kind of points to kind of a group of kind of heftier kind of young men, and he kind of just like speaks to them for a moment, and they immediately kind of start to take some different supplies. And while other conversations happen, it only takes them just a matter of maybe 30 minutes or so, and they have like a really nice kind of tent set up that would easily accommodate each of you, all of you. And if you were to go in, you do see that there's different blinds, and then also like for personal privacy within there that they kind of hung from the roof thatching and such, and kind of actually comfy looking, kind of like similar to what was in Tambrin's tent. And in fact, this is kind of set out beside Tambrin's tent. You could almost walk from like just kind of walk out and then turn to the left and just walk right into Tambrin's tent. But again, kind of a nice little bedroll, kind of looks pretty comfortable. Be a good night's rest and out of the elements.
Seems cozy.
I've slept in worse.
This will certainly do. Is the chieftain still there, like at the entrance while we're standing? Or has he stepped away?
Whatever you're saying right now, it depends on if you wanted to say anything while they were setting up. By this point, he had stepped away and ordered and stuff.
Karam's going to ask him if he
to
return later this evening when you're done, and I'll have more details, perhaps give you some answers that you yourselves have been asking for a while now.
It's the same crew that kind of built that tent. They also made just this little fire pit with kind of little stump logs that everybody could kind of sit around and have a conversation. And it's pretty secluded, like somebody would have to be intentionally trying to listen or anything, but you don't get the impression that they're pretty respectful people and like they keep their distance and such.
As we're all sitting around this, Ace is gonna grab this fang out of his back pocket and he's gonna put it in his hand. He goes, "Do you guys see a big ass snake on your way into here?"
It's on the fire pit. Remember the fire pit next to you?
Oh, they cooked it. That's right.
That's where you got the
see
thing.
That's right. That's right. You see this? You see this snake over there? I shit you not. I was cutting this tree down, and this snake came and grabbed me. Briar came with her fists alone and punched it and killed it.
Actually, that's
No,
I gave a part of it.
it looked at him the wrong way, and I was like, "No, not today, Mr. Snake. No, no."
I said, bitch.
At this point, I wouldn't expect anything less of you, Brian.
So many things.
Well done.
So many things make sense to me now. So many.
I'll keep in mind not to mess with you, Briar.
I'm just going to wink at Ace. He's on my very good side. I like him very much. Yes.
Oh yeah. Totally was Briar.
Totally, 100%. It was me.
So,
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
you go ahead.
Okay. We're alone.
Okay.
Corone, what do you have? What do you wish to tell us, my friend?
Well, I mean, if there was, it's still not later, and he hasn't come back yet.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
still
Who
have
hasn't
time.
come back?
So
Yeah.
until then, just fill the time. Yes.
Yeah, I think let's settle in, get rested, gather our bearings. I'm sure there are some of us, and I'll look to Asher and Briar that still have a bit of time they may want to take. So we can reconvene later with the chieftain, and I'll elucidate everyone on what might be transpiring here.
Rowan is
So-
going to go ahead and basically start taking off the top of his armor and his swords and kind of just set them down nicely next to a bedroll. I'm assuming, just kind of just relaxing, taking a moment to relax, and he's gonna be wearing an undershirt similar to the one I'm wearing with the red undershirt underneath.
Cosplay.
Cosplay. And he's going to take the tea and just kind of stand outside the tent and just kind of watch everybody, just checking out the town.
I'm going to walk up to Asher and so I do want to show Coron, but Tambourine didn't really leave all that much other than this nice little cloak, and I'm just gonna like flare it a little bit, and it's just gonna go foof foof foof. And and the notebook, I haven't had time to read it. I plan on reading it tonight. When he had written to me, which is why I came, he said he needed help and that he would do his best to cause as much of a ruckus as he could. He's very much the trickster, my uncle, well, your father. I'm very sorry that you lost your papa.
He helped raise me. He taught me all that I know. But Korea, I have always been there for her since we were little. And now I have to tell her this, and I'm weeks away.
And it's not really something you write in a letter, is it?
I'm gonna pull out the amulet that allows me to send messages and be like, even short phrases seem so distant.
I think either we reach out to her, probably have her go be around family.
She is, she's with her human family. Wolf Run was attacked by some raiders, and we were forced to flee.
It'll all come in time. Probably not something to send in a message right away. But I will leave that to you, as she's your wife, and it's been a while since I talked to my cousin.
Yeah, it would have been just for tying things in sake.
Mm-hmm.
Briar and Coria were really close when they were little, but it was just like
Mhm.
little cousins running around. And that's after she left, would have met you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would have been her, best friend at that time, and
Mm-hmm.
build a new life.
Yes.
I'm gonna pray on it, and maybe Maliki will help make this easier.
Whatever you need. If you are going to tell her that, just be very concise with your words, but gentle, not too blunt. Don't be like, Tambrain is dead, we got here too late. Oh no. Probably not
Also,
great.
run the
But
risk of
for-
her messaging you first.
For what it's worth, there's best not to dwell. No one could have made it in time. We were on a ship for quite a while. It took us all quite a while to traverse the continent. There's no way we could have gotten here in time. There's nothing we could have done. It was out of our hands.
We will talk later about leftover business that he had on this isle. I have a feeling he's not done.
Good thing we have his notebook then.
And then Asher will just go and start meditating off in an opening.
I'm just gonna take a big swig of jungle rum.
I was actually going to come up because I'd try to give you two your privacy, but I was going to approach the two of you and be like, I don't mean to impose, and I can understand either way if you want to come or don't, but I was curious if I might be able to see if there's anything of potential use in your father-in-law and uncle's tent and Tambourine's tent.
If you'd like to take a look, I pretty much have everything that was in there, then I'm happy to show you.
Sure, certainly. We said at the return.
Karan, they look like you. They're of your people.
Like the man on the beach, yes. There's no doubt in my mind that it is my feral Neramin that are committing this. And I have very extreme suspicions as to what it is. But
while the chieftain did look at you like, he wanted to kill you, yeah. I don't...
picked up on that.
That's why I ran to your arms first, so he kind of diffused the situation. Karonian, my friend, and I trust you, and I know you are not like these people, and I'm not going to judge you based on their actions. However, all those people, I know you're a gentle soul. I am not going to be gentle with them.
I don't expect you to. Honestly, I don't even expect you to be so considerate of me, thank you. That really means a lot at this point. He's not the person to give me those looks. I can understand why.
I will show you all of his things after we mellow out a bit. I'm pretty heated up right now.
Understandable. Precisely why I wanted to ask first.
Thank you.
I know you can handle your liquor. You certainly have proven it in our travels. But do be careful. I don't think the chieftain was joking. He said that could kill you.
I'm counting on it. I don't really think there's going to be another way for me to go to sleep tonight, though.
Well, so long as I get to see you in the morning, that's my most important concern.
Just swigging and giving a thumbs up.
By this point, the night is starting to come. We're getting just kind of right at the kind of golden hour, and you see the moon is actually really bright, almost seems almost like a full moon, if not a full moon, keeping still as bright as if it were kind of that golden hour. Asher, as you kind of take a step away for a moment, kind of a little bit into the brush, you sit down and in druidic prayer and an attempt to commune with Maliki. You meditate for a while and it seems quiet. You try to, your mind races and you kind of have to center it back and bring it back, and you finally feel this sense like you have a response, and it's less of like a voice apparating in your head and more of just like a affirmation of kind of a memory or words that from your vision, and you feel the voice of Maliki kind of assure and remind you, the druidic path will make your way stronger. These companions will make your way able. And you feel this and meditate on it for a moment, and you hear kind of off in front of you kind of like this snapping of twigs and something kind of peeking through the foliage, and she says, "Open your eyes." And as you do so, you see the face of pretty large canine, a wolf. It just staring kind of intently into your eyes through this kind of like thicket, this brush, and it just stares into your eyes. It doesn't have like a hostile demeanor to it or anything like that, and it kind of like locks eyes with you and slowly makes its way to you. And as you sit Indian style, cross-legged and kind of meditate, it approaches and bows its head down kind of in front of you.
And I'll like kind of place my hand on his forehead, and
as you do this, the wolf kind of looks up, kind of looks into your eyes, kind of like this, and for a moment its tail wags and then just disappears. And you feel this like presence within you.
That was strange. And then I'll go to bed. I'm assuming everyone else is in bed at this point.
Yeah, so
well, everybody's gonna have the communion or the community talk with Karan around the fire at this point. Yeah,
I'll like kind of walk up with the rest of the people, like, what is in this room?
So,
The rice is pretty good.
before that happens, Holson, while everyone's kind of doing their settling down, is that a good time for me to? I'd approach Midian and see
and
if
have
he's
your
busy.
conversation while
Yeah, see if he's busy and if he would mind going on like a walk
Mhm.
to just
Yeah,
chat.
Absolutely. Yeah, but that can happen around the same time before, kind of this same golden hour.
Yeah.
The same time he's doing this. Probably most of what everybody's doing this last, waning hours of the night will be
Yeah.
kind of at the same time, but we're just going to do it one at a time.
Mhm.
So,
I was gonna say, I was gonna probably, as a segue, come up to you, Ace, and be like, Ace, would you like to go fetch your father and brother as well? Family was probably fine. I think everyone seems to be settled in enough. It's time that.
Oh, yeah. More like a grandpa, but yeah, I can go get him. No worries.
they use son kind of interchangeably, like,
Gotcha.
no, my son.
He's like, son is like kin,
Yes,
so to
yes,
speak.
like,
my
I,
offspring.
and in this case, adopted Ken.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you fetch Midian and propose this walk for a bit, yes, I will walk with you. And give me 1 second. Goes into his tent, comes back out, cup of tea. Now I am ready. Would you like one as well?
It's none of the specialty, right? It's like I'll
No.
remember this conversation.
This was tea good for flavor. That is all. And warm the
Yes.
heart.
Yes, I'll take some with honey in it.
This stream is brought to you in part by Arizona Tea. It's not. It's a joke. It's comedy. All right. So yeah, you kind of walk around. This grove kind of has like kind of ups and downs, kind of these like hills and kind of little bridges and stuff. It's very like, it's if the Shire were in a jungle, kind of, without the hobbit homes and stuff, but just kind of like those little, quays and little kind of rope bridges and such. And you kind of walk around the perimeter of the grove with him.
Okay. Oh, where to start? He's happy. He's safe. As long as I'm not near him. He found love. Again.
Love, my boy. Is she good to him?
The best. You would love her.
I am sure.
What's wrong with me? Why doesn't it work?
There are two souls within you. I see them. You probably are only in tune with one of them. And they are at war with each other and cannot be present at the same time. Not until you are learned to harness them.
How? How do I do that?
One is like water and flows like magic and the wind, but the other is like a stone that is on fire, and they clash, and with that you struggle to tune in to the one that is of a kinder essence. There is a rage within you, but there is also a calm magic within you. I can send
So
you
just-
on the way, but I cannot take you there. I can only point you in the direction.
I would appreciate that.
He kind of stops for a moment on the trail. He kind of, as you walk beside him, he just kind of puts his hand on your heart. You must recognize that it is within you. It will take a lot of concentration. It will take a lot of taming. It is like what you are called a wild magic. It may be
I've
a
had to
long
fight.
time before you are tame this.
I've had to fight my whole life. Trying hard and trying to tame, I shall. You give me the tools to tame it, and I shall make you proud. I shall make all of you proud.
He kind of pats your chest again. You have already made me proud. I understand why it is that he has found you, why it is that he has chosen you, and I see it within you, and I see it about you. A good
Thank you.
heart with a strong body, a good soul with a fire. It is a good thing. It is a powerful thing. You will do great things.
Ace will be probably fidgeting with this ring that is around his neck as he's talking to him, and he kind of holds it out and he goes, "You never explained how to use this, what it even is."
Do you have your gauntlets off currently at this point, or are you wearing them currently? I imagine you probably took them off. You took them off when you were doing, yeah.
He probably still has the hand wraps on, but
Yeah.
as far as gauntlets, no, those are probably, honestly, they're probably still sitting on the tape or the over there where they were
That's no
sitting
problem.
at.
No, I was just making sure if you could wear it right now or not. But when you are put this on, you are able to help people. It can cure different ailments when you are touch them and meditate on it and focus. Much good can come from this. It is like a symbol of your two souls. When you have your gloves and you cause harm, and when you take them off and you heal harm, that is the war within you.
Is it from here?
Yes. Was crafted by and from one of our ancestors that had the fate like your friend's family.
This is an elf?
No. It was like they are what he had to be, what he is now, what his form is now. A powerful tree.
Oh. Okay. He just tucks it back into his shirt. Just continues on the walk and enjoying this moment that he never thought would ever happen, sipping his tea.
Right. And so you guys, you make your way kind of back to the fire pit of communion. Anybody else would like to do any things individually? Anybody else? Okay.
At this point, Rowan probably just is walking around, just kind of just looking at everybody as he passes and just giving head nod, but still sipping his tea. Just kind of staying close to the tent, but still kind of just walking around and walking around.
Is Elena here?
Yeah.
I'd like to go find her.
Keep it to herself. Okay. She's already sitting at the fire that is prepared for you guys.
Oh, most excellent.
She's just sipping some tea. Or something.
Going
Oh,
to
I
sit
freaking
down.
still have Bolt up. Bolt, go away. Everything was Bolt. Everything for the last 30 minutes was Bolt. Hey. Stop. Yeah, so.
I'm gonna sit in. I'm gonna wiggle and be like, Elena,
Yes, Brian.
definitely stick to the tea.
Are you feeling it? I feel like I can smell it from here.
Oh, most definitely. But I was afraid I wasn't going to get any sleep tonight. But Elena, can you see the past with your magic?
Unfortunately, I don't have any control over what I see, but I do sometimes see pasts, impossible pasts, and things that could have been. But part of the burden of my vision is that I have to discern whether what I am seeing is a past or a one that happened, one that could have happened, or it is a future. And when sometimes my visions are so far removed, someone I've never seen, someone I've never met, or something I wasn't there for. When I see that, I don't know when it was that happened, but I have to use my best judgment.
So then I'm thinking you are the wrong person I should ask this question to. I'm not entirely sure if I want to know. But
I'm willing to try to answer if it comforts you.
what I want, I don't know if it's a comfort. If you lost someone you loved and you had to tell their child, you only had so many words to do it, would you wait? What would you say? What would you do?
It's never an easy conversation. Loss is always hard, whether you see it coming or whether it catches you off guard. I suppose all you can say is the truth, what you know, and he has left his fleshly form, but he has seems entered a new life, a new chapter, a new story. It is not a life that we are so familiar with and can almost feel the same way about, but it is a life nonetheless, and it will produce a whole other set of opportunities, I suppose. But I am sorry for your loss. That is hard.
But on the bright side, I've gained a new family member.
Or at least unveiled one, it seems.
Yeah.
Destinies are intertwining, it seems.
Little things. Got to hold on to the little things, right?
Always the little things.
And with that, she's going to switch to tea.
She's had enough. Ron, you see kind of one of these kind of actually a female one of these Calepians for Bolgs. She's holding kind of like a baby, but I mean it's a big baby because they're big people, whatever, and kind of swaddled. And she kind of like glances at you, and like kind of comes over, or you see her walk over to, you weren't there for it, but the kind of water basin that Briar had screamed into and yelled into, and she kind of like looks into it, and then she like scoops up some water and kind of carefully makes her way over to you, and she's holding her baby in one hand and this kind of cupped water in her other. She kind of like holds it out to you and then like gestures at your phylactery around your neck.
So I'll take the phylactery and the water. She's like offering up the whole cup, right? Or like the little.
She's just holding it in her hand, like she kind of just
she's
cupped as
holding
much
water
as she
in
could,
her hand.
but she's like trying to communicate with you. She probably doesn't know that you speak elf. I mean, even though you are elf or whatever, but doesn't try to.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to try to communicate in Elvish to see, because the chief said that he speaks Elvish. So I'm going to say to her in Elvish, is this something in regards to what it looks like on the inside of my pendant? What would you like me to do with this?
Come with me. I show you. Come.
Of course.
She kind of just sips the water from her hand and kind of walks over to this basin, and she kind of like positions herself on the other side. She like points at your phylactery and then points at the kind of water basin, and within the water basin, kind of like it's almost like just like a bird bath, but pretty deep, maybe like 2 or 3 foot deep, and you see kind of at the base of it, kind of lining the bottom of this, like because it's bold and then it kind of juts down like a tower, kind of lining the base of it is very familiar crystals that are very akin to your phylactery.
Okay. How long has this been here? These, as far as I've known, these have only grown in the lands where I come from. Like, is this always been here? Or was this
For
placed
as long
here?
as I know, this has been here. It nourishes our people. It is a source of power as well.
That's precisely why I carry this. Is because the power that is within these waters. And can I like pick up the water and like sip it the same and see if it's familiar? I'll do just that.
Yeah,
See if
it's very familiar, like the same kind of like purity. It's like that Bobby Boucher water from
the glacier.
Yeah.
It's cold.
That's ice cold. That's some high quality H2O. So
okay.
But it's but there's also like a different tinge to it. It's got the familiar effect of what the crystals do, but then the water itself has different properties. It's hard to hard to pin down. But the crystals are definitely of Moon Lake descent.
This is truly fascinating. No one ever told me. All the books that I read didn't say anything about this. I'd love to have more time to look at this. Thank you for showing me.
And she kind of just like bows and kind of just takes her baby and swaddles, and walks away.
And I also appreciate you trusting me. I know, based on how I look, that must be quite difficult. But I promise, whatever has happened here, whatever ills have transpired against your people, I will do what I can to see that it is righted.
She actually kind of turns back around and like walks like up to you and kind of gets like uncomfortably close, not uncomfortably close, but like really close. And she's actually, but no, not like that. I mean, like it's like she's like gonna whisper something. Like she's like, "I do not fear you. I sense good."
Thank you.
And then she kind of like starts to turn and kind of coyly looks at you, and then like, "But don't make me change my mind." And then like kind of walks away.
Let's see here. I do have my apothecary set, so I'm gonna gather up some of the water.
Awesome.
So, a couple of vials of that and tuck that away, and then I'm gonna make my way back to the tent because I imagine now it's been some time since Ace has left, or do I actually even see Ace and Eden coming back?
Yeah, I'd say by this point everybody's kind of like managed to make their way to the same
Yeah, Rowan's probably
room,
walking
okay.
in, and he's gonna sit next to Elena. Not say anything, just sit next to her.
Yeah, I was about to say, out of curiosity, if it's not able to be done, that's totally okay. I was just before they went on their walk, maybe Ace would like to introduce Mordecai to Rowan. As he walks over to Rowan, he's kind of you can't see Ace's face, obviously, but you
Grinning.
can tell by he's grinning by his eye, and he goes, Rowan, this is my brother. This is Mordecai, and he is a fighter like us. I don't know how long it's been since you've been able to have a sparring partner, but if you're down for the challenge, I'm sure Mordecai would give you some good training.
Mordecai kind of says to you, like he kind of like kind of shoves you a bit. Bah, fighter like us. Look at him. And he kind of says it with like a smile.
Rowan is just kind of
pulling your leg, but he kind of puffs up.
Be careful, you don't. At him saying that, Ace smiles and he goes, "Be careful, Mordecai. You don't want to get beat twice today, now, do you?"
Twice? No, you're a cheater.
You swung first, okay?
Yours hurt more. Mine was friendly. Yours was to hurt.
Excuses.
Rowan is going to put his hands up like this, kind of like shrugging, kind of holding up his hands. I can handle these pretty well, but I don't.
I am
myself.
still ready. So if you are done with this, later tonight, we go. Yes.
I'll take you up on that.
All right.
We'll see how I fare then. Thank you, Ace, for introducing me to your brother.
Hey,
Nice meeting you both.
no problem, bud.
And Rowan's just gonna walk into the tent and sit next to Elena with his tea.
Perfect. I mean, it's up to you. They set up the fire pit so you could have it there or inside the tents, whatever you prefer. But like I said, you get the sense that they're gonna leave you to your own devices. And the fire pit is small enough that you could literally just kind of talk conversationally. You don't have to like yell or anything across the fire or anything like that.
Now, Karon did want Midian there for the conversation, right? Or did he want just the party?
No, Midian the chief. So Midian. That's what I was going to ask. Who did you all invite? Because Midian, yes, the chieftain there. Mordecai could come. Like close knit to the the government tribal agents of clan, but not like
leaders.
we're not going to have like public forum. Like, hey guys, this is what's going on.
Yeah. No, so
Like,
if you want just Midian and Mordecai, they can.
If it's literally just the two of them, I didn't know if there's anybody else. I figured it'd
Yep.
probably be one,
It'd be
two
just-
others. So.
Just them. It's kind of chieftain and chieftain's son. So sons.
Yes, yeah. Yep. Or grandson. All right.
All right, so then I guess at this point we'll do it in the tent. This is probably where I was thinking we were going to, because it's a little more discreet even so.
Perfect.
I thank you, Chieftain Mordecai, Ace, for gathering them, for coming. I'm sure you have even more questions than my friends who have traveled with me here. I've mulled over how exactly best to approach this, but perhaps I should ask what you might possibly already know or suspect. What did Tambrin, before his untimely passing, tell you about my people? The ones that look like me, even if they don't necessarily act as I do. And I'm addressing to Midian specifically on that.
Well, he did not know much about these people. We had only known and met them when they come the first time. They come and they were friendly at first, but then with the longer they stay, they become unwelcome. And we drove them off the island, but they did come back, and they came back with a lot of men, bad men, and that is when they, at the time, Siora and Tambrin were with us before they came back with men, and Siora had left, and when shortly after Siora left, I believe Tambrin wrote to her to get help when they came back, and tensions rose very quickly, and it was very quickly that Tambrin tried his best, but I believe that he even took out one of the people like you, the leaders of this, but even so, there was too many of them, and he could not hold them back from the temple.
Again, I wish there was something, anything I could have done to prevent that from happening. I'll start from the beginning, if you will, then. The people that look like me. We are the Nermin, or Moonlight Elves, as I found are more colloquially what we're called outside of our own lands. We are a people that tend not to have a lot of magical proficiency. It is rare in the first place, and even amongst elves more so, but from time to time, there are a few exceptions. People such as myself, who are known as farriers, individuals who had a magical gift. And so we were brought up in what we refer to as the conclave, a covenant of people, gifted people, that train and study to help use our powers to best assist others, not just fellow Merrimen, but others such as yourselves, humans, all the races. Unfortunately, for those who do have this magical gift, from time to time, they can fall sway to darker temptations. Just like anyone, I guess. But, unfortunately, their bloodlusts can get beyond a realm that even I can properly comprehend. And that is what I fear might be transpiring here. In fact, is. Based on what you said, they came here initially, peaceably, just travelers visiting your island. But then they grew darker, more nefarious, until things culminated as they had. Now, we have one, perhaps an individual you have seen before. He's currently with our captain, the ship that we took to get here.
And it is someone that I knew from this covenant, our conclave. And he made mention of a name that put quite a bit of concern into my heart. The one that we have captured, his name is Namus. He was a member of the clergy, but not a farrier, such as myself. Had some magical proficiency, yes, but nothing really profound. Was never able to quite master it, so typically they would just remain in the Moon Lake. Why he is here can only be because of the influence of this Kethiel. And he doesn't react to the mention of the name Kethiel at all, right? Okay. Kethiel is a farrier, like myself. So not only was he proficient in magic, but he learned how to use it. And him, being older than I am, to be honest, I'm really probably put a fledgling. He has had more time practicing the craft, and he took to it quite quickly, even amongst people like myself. And to my understanding, he set out into the world to spread our good intent and help others, guide Nerriman that might need assistance. They're no longer residing in our native land, but apparently the corruption has gotten to him. And when it is a farrier, gods know what the potential that could mean. And so, why I am here, apparently, is to find just so out. You see, I was sent from my lands, as I had informed you earlier, Briar, to find out what was happening with people like myself on this island. Something was awry, amiss, and I was tasked to discover what that is. And I believe, having discovered it and how grievous it is, we must confront this Kethiel and put a stop to whatever madness he is allowed to perpetuate on this island. Now, I don't know how best to approach these lands. You're familiar with this far more than I, any of us even. So I ask, and perhaps even beg, that you assist me whatever way that you can, so that myself and my friends here, who have so loyally followed me to this juncture, their own missions, of course, considered, so that we can put a stop to him. I don't think I have the power to do this alone. I honestly don't. And that's what scares me most.
Fortunately, you are not alone. You have many strong, good companions that are willing to help. You will put an end to this blight.
Thank you. And my friends, I understand if you have questions or even concerns. I'll look to you, Ace. Considering that the only thing that differentiates myself from them is my word. So I invite you to inquire if there's anything that you feel as though you want to ask. I will be as forthcoming as I can.
There is.
Sorry.
I will. What is it that prevents you from becoming like this?
The biggest thing would be the spirit, my desire and all the training and time I spent, not only honing my skills, but learning how to utilize them in a controlled fashion, and also this. And I'll reach my hand up to the necklace and cut the amethyst pendant. And I'll kind of like hold it out so that he can see it, perhaps maybe seeing a little bit, like channel into it a bit so that it glows. Something that apparently I just recently learned is also sourced here in this very village. Not that you would use it in the same fashion as I do. Does he recognize?
Yes. This protection also our purpose here.
One of
This
your
is-
villagers showed me this.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, I was saying one of your villagers showed me this.
It is a source of good, but also a source of power. It is like an open door, but it must be closed when the winds pick up and the storm rages. But when the breeze rolls in, you open it, and it is nice.
The breeze. It's funny. Even though we are worlds apart, and our clans are not kin, inherently, our teachings seem to be similar. It's precisely what the instructors taught me, that there is an ebb and flow of this energy, and you must find that balance. That is the training that we go through, that I hold so dear in my heart. It's that foundation that allows me to be what I believe to be the best representation of myself.
When we are honest, we are on a part of the same wave. Now, to use another symbol, our roots grow together and strengthen.
After all, we are all children of Aelos, no matter where we are.
Indeed. And we are all responsible for her.
Indeed. I'll look around and see if there's anything else that Midian wants to say. Otherwise, I'll kind of gesture to the others to see if they want to say anything. Ask anything.
So, with you pointing out Ace, obviously, with what he said earlier, he's kind of nodding in agreement, and just he kind of looks at you and I trust you. Actions are more than words, and you have fought with me. And you have protected, and you seem like a very good person. I'll help you. But no danger can come of this village. I can't put my new family in risk. I won't allow it.
Nor will I.
Midian,
I want.
kind of
Got it.
speaks up. We will help in any way that we can, but though this is our island, it would not be good for our people to fight. And Mordecai kind of turns and looks at him and kind of speaks in their language. And Midian kind of puts his hand on his shoulder and kind of like taps it to kind of like sit him down, and Midian or Mordecai kind of looks up, and kind of confused, looks up at Midian. It is for our people. Better to die than to do what would kill us inside.
Lose your flesh is far greater, or far better than to lose one's soul. I can understand that.
Ace kind of looks at Mordecai and he looks at him in the eyes and he says, "Let me be your hands. Let me be your weapon." Kind of like grabs his head and puts it to his forehead, kind of thing.
He kind of does that for a moment, and he kind of like separates, pulls himself away from you. He kind of takes both your fists in his hand and kind of holds them up, and then kind of like squeezes, and then puts his hands around your wrists and kind of lets go. Strong. You're muted.
Oh no, I don't think you guys want me.
you had a grin on your face though.
I was like, okay, let's go.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And I
make the grove secure. Just do it. Stupid. Okay, continue.
Mordecai, in my woods, there is something that comes from here. I'm wondering if you know.
Asking Midian or Mordecai?
Ooh.
Midian's the chieftain, Mordecai's the son.
Midian, the smart one, the old one.
The smart one.
Right. Like grandpa.
Ouch.
The wise and then the hothead.
The not fisty one.
The anti-fister.
Yeah.
God.
My I got you. My Mulier, I know that there's, for some reason, we have it where we are. What's so special about it?
It is good for protection. When you can learn how to live in peace with it, it can protect you. It will hold back and it is a fair judge for those who are intent evil, for those who are intent to harm us or this life or life. It would take care of that.
Then I feel very grateful that it is with us as well.
It was a gift from our ancestors to you. It was before my time even, but it was a gift when your people commune with us long time ago.
Anyone else? I was going to acknowledge Midian with a. I don't ask that you send your fighters. I completely understand your support is enough, and Ace here has certainly proven to be more than enough support on a number of occasions thus far, especially with the protecting Briar.
Rowan, the whole time you were talking, he never broke eye contact from you and just was nodding, acknowledging everything you said. And I've told you on the beach, and I'm gonna say it for everybody here. You all have my sword. Wherever you guys go, I will follow. No matter what
They
the
don't
mission
make-
is.
They don't make people like you much anymore, Rowan. You are one of the most trusting, supporting individuals. I'm glad, if anything, to have met you. Absolutely. And I thank you for your support.
Likewise, Karan.
It appears our fates have intertangled more than I thought. I will fight with you. And Asher will hold out his hand and basically shake Run's hand, and similar to the warrior handshake of just like, Rowan, we were all in your debt.
Mine. I think this is a nice little team we're gonna have going forward. I'm just as gracious as everybody else. And Rowan is sitting on the ground next to Elena, who is, I'm assuming, sitting up. Rowan's sitting on the ground. He's gonna kind of do like a little playful nudge against her with his shoulder.
She's aroused. I'm just kidding. It's the most
And a
action
nod
she's
to
ever
her-
had, man.
and a nod to our conversation that we had on the boat, for what she mentioned. So
I'm gonna.
Bye, blind.
Bye, blind.
Bye, blind.
Exclamation point, bye, blind.
there you go.
Hi, blind. I'm gonna stand up and I'm just going to take my notebook and I'm gonna fling it on the mortar pestle and the carving, and I'm just gonna fling it onto my cot. And like, listen, this is getting very serious and so touching. But Caron, I am not endearing myself to you. We're already friends. I mean, guys. Ugh.
She's still
Getting a
drunk.
little too soft there, don't you think?
Maybe necessary. For our...
I do believe it runs in the family.
I guess you would be one to know.
So many things throughout my childhood are making sense.
Rowan's gonna finish the tea, and gently put the mug down and kind of do an inhale and kind of just on his exhale start stretching.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, sir. Caron, Ace. I mean, not Ace. I know you wanted to see it, but Asher, if you want to come look at this, you can come look at my uncle's notebook together.
As were you saying Asher? And okay, so as you guys do that,
I'm not
kinda-
Asher, not Ace.
Yeah, Ace and Rowan, I imagine by this point, kind of get up and, for sake of not rolling and time's sake, because we have a lot of next half to go through.
Yeah.
It kind of just like a friendly sparring match, and it kind of goes down to like you guys are both just like exhausted. Like you're like at that point, like to the point where like you're like grappling and just like it's one of those just like stand-up fights kind of thing, like kind of just like the stand-up hug or whatever, but in the like this kind of adrenaline rush of this like kind of second wind or whatever kind of overtakes Rowan, and he kind of again with the circle and kind of fighting actually manages to kind of essentially just outlast Mordecai, and Mordecai just heavily winded kind of just gets pushed back past the circle, and Mordecai kind of hands on his knees, kind of settle down. That is a lot of fight for one day. But I am sure you have gone through a lot on your way here too.
Little things came for my ankles a couple times.
Oh, the junglas.
Jungle.
Very dangerous, nasty little boogers.
They were pretty nasty, and I'm gonna put my hand out. I'm assuming he's on the ground, and I'm gonna pull him up, and then do a tap on his shoulder. Thank you for sparring with me tonight, amongst your exhaustion. Felt good to kind of let loose for a minute.
Yes, indeed. It's been a nice visit for you. Oh, to come here at Izunona to have good intruders. He doesn't know the words. Good intruders.
That's a fair word, to be honest. This is all new to me. This is probably the furthest I've ever been from home. So
well, now you are in another one. This is your home now. Any kind of soldier salute.
Ron's gonna do the same thing and pick up his shirt and wave them goodnight and kind of nod and then head back to the tent.
Mordecai kind of heads back and like stretching, like he kind of has like a limp, kind of like a dead leg, and he kind of falls a little bit and like, oh boy, kind of walks to his tent.
Your brother's nice, Ace.
He's all right.
Malachi's your favorite though.
Such a brother response.
That I think is what we need now. Tomorrow's gonna be a day. You ready?
We shall come out on top for sure. I have all the faith in our team.
Couldn't agree more. And just gonna walk our own back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we are ready for a long rest. Whoever needs it, not a break. We'll do the long rest.
Right.
And it won't take long for after the long rest. So everybody, night goes unabated. It's a kind of a calm night. Briar, do you ever sober up enough to at any point in the night to?
I do. I didn't let myself get too drunk. That's why I switched to tea. Yeah. Just in case you asked that, I made sure I was prepared.
After she finished drinking, she switched to a diuretic to,
Yeah.
make sure all the water was out of her body.
Make sure she's absolutely dehydrated.
Right.
But yeah, you spend, a good while kind of going through the journal, and the way it's written, it's almost like a sketchbook as well. There's little doodles and drawings, like you can see, like you can make out two figures of like him and Siora, and you can make out he even has kind of a drawing and an entry where he kind of talks about missing home, missing his wife and child, and kind of has like this doodle with her kind of her arm around him, and kind of Korea sitting on his shoulders or whatever.
And when I see that, when I see that doodle, I go, that's where I get my drawing skills from, is from Uncle Tambrain. He used to send me paints all the time, and Korea, bless her heart, she cannot paint worth it. She cannot. No. Bless.
But
Don't I know it? Among there also is different it's kind of all over the place. There's those like where he's just like talking about what he's missing, but then he has these kind of like machinations of different like spell ideas and different ways that he can harness nature, and there's a lot of element of, it's like he's taken a druidic element but also taken it further and applied like a deeper understanding of magic as well into that. So it kind of serves both of those. It's like he for meta gaming purposes, it's like he multi-classed wizard and druid.
Go.
quickness
First
sake. But
Ooh, I think this is a spell that would come very handy. He is such a trickster. I like
in the
it.
notes for this, if you're thinking about what I think you're
Yes,
thinking about,
yes. Uh-huh.
He kind of has like kind of on the top like this smiling ornery face or whatever, kind of like as the asterisk for this like spell, and he kind of vaguely describes a game that the tribal people played in which you try not to laugh. It was just a simply like, it's like roughly translated to like the try not to laugh game. And he discovered a way to circumvent that and win every time. But then he made kind of like another like kind of even more ornery like devil emoji type face or whatever, where he says, I've discovered that this does actually have some combat use as well, and just kind of mad machinations of crazy Uncle Tam.
I can't wait. I really want to try that, but I really. Ashra, could you use that right now? Do you need to like use to smile a bit? You know he was a tricky
He's
devil.
still thinking about this conversation. Okay, so with that, the rest of the night, I don't think there's anything else anybody needs to do.
I mean, there wasn't anything that I've note that I saw in there, right? That could have related to the temple or anything. So,
there were different kind of journal entries towards the end that kind of talk on this, but it seems like when this was happening, he ended up with a lot less time to work on his journal, but he did make note of Ciora's visit and just kind of the stuff that.
Yeah, just basic observations, nothing of any real note.
All right, so we continue. For those that had or needed a long rest, we enter the next day, kind of a late start to the morning, and there's a little bit of a kind of a quiet bustle to the village, with just people kind of washing clothes and sorting foods and kind of preparing the village. But the day is yours. And deliberate on where you would like to go.
I know I wanted to see if there was any herbalism supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yes. The mortars, the mortar and pedestal, I can give to you if you need it.
Oh, I mean, unless it's an improvement over my current one, I'll pull out my mortar and pestle. I'm looking more so for something that I can actually make some potions with.
Oh.
Did Tamperin have anything by chance inside of his tent?
I didn't see anything, but you can go take a look if it's needed. But I think
there were the little pouch of herbs and stuff that was originally in there.
Oh.
And what was left in the mortar itself, like just some dried herbs and stuff like that. There was the pouch of like seed, but also like some herbs and stuff that was a part of that.
Oh, I didn't know there was a pouch of seeds in there. I thought it was just herb dust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember, I said the kind of the ritual seed that he had. That
right.
Aside and such like that.
Yeah. The setting seed aside. Okay, and I'll just give it all to Karan because I don't mess with that kind of shit. So.
Wait, including the setting seed aside part? I thought that was
the setting seed aside is he actually has little seeds as part of a ritualistic practice, but
well, I mean, I wouldn't want to disturb any of his ritualistic practice. I mean, if I look at the seeds, can I identify?
It's easy enough to separate like the seed for ritual use and then the herbs for medicinal use and such.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I'll leave alone in honor of his memory. but these can certainly be of some use, I think. At least I hope they can they?
Probably not quite enough to make another potion right here, but you're on your way to crafting some more herbal stuff as you collect more.
And plus the chief daddy had like that calming tea, so he's got to know herbs and stuff. So.
Chief Daddy.
Chief Daddy.
Chief Daddy, can you give me some herbs, please?
Yes, what do I want? Come into my tent.
Rowan is going to
for a price. Okay, that's gone too far.
Rowan is gonna wake up and put on his chest piece, and then put his swords. Start putting his swords on, and he's gonna peek out into the, I'm assuming, the main square to see if he can see Midian at all. Maybe he's available.
Yeah, he's just sitting enjoying some tea at the unlit main campfire outside of his
Rowan's gonna walk up to him. Good morning, and he's gonna say good morning in, well, just in common.
Good morning. Did you all sleep well?
I did, thank you. It was very, very really actually extra cozy than what I thought originally. But wanted to see if there is a potion, like a alchemy store that I can probably buy potions from before.
There is no store.
No store.
There's only gift.
Gift. Okay. Do you know where I can maybe? Rowan's gonna get really awkward at the idea of maybe not buying anything.
We have no use for currency here.
Okay. I was just thinking of maybe getting some stuff for the journey that we're going to make into the temple.
Well, I do know a guy. Let me go get him. He kind of steps away, goes into his tent for a moment.
Okay.
Comes back out with just like this platter of different kind of herbs and concoctions and stuff. It was me. I am the guy.
I think Briar
he like kind of chuckles to himself under his breath and just kind of steps his way.
That's awesome. Thank you. I'm sure Briar will probably be coming to visit you sometime soon. I think I heard her say in the tent. That's awesome. Thank you. So is there any, like, what potions are
you would have no idea.
Okay. How many are there, I guess?
There's maybe one potion. It's kind of like this yellow tinge to it. Yellow with like green specks tinge to it. But the rest is kind of unmade, just herbs or whatever. But
okay.
What would you like me to make?
I was thinking of more of like some health for my heart, or make us stronger when we're not feeling too well in battle, like wounded. Just anything that can get us through that temple, if you will.
He kind of points to the one that's already made. This one is for poisons and for other things that can make you not be able to fight. But as far as health potion, I could make one of that.
If you don't mind, that would be really helpful. Midian, Chief.
Median.
Okay, Median. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and take this potion and see if anybody wants to carry this, and I'll be back for the other whenever it's ready.
It will take probably a little while. I do this for a living, so not too long. Come back in a few minutes. He kind of immediately sets it down and kind of starts to work at it.
Thank you. And Rowan's gonna like nod his head to him and start going back to the tent, and he's gonna show. Well, I asked Midian if he could brew us a potion or two. He has this potion that helps with poison. So something. If anybody wants to hold this, I can hold it. But we have another one for health coming for our journey.
Did you
Well,
by chance talk to him about the location of the temple?
Oh, no, I didn't get that far, I guess. Maybe when we go back to get the potion, we can, on our way out, start talking about the location and go from there.
We also, is there a way for us to finish that tree for the ship? We will eventually need to.
He's Balin's like,
that's how
oh god, waiting for this. Sure have been gone a while.
Perhaps, Asher, that's what we can have the villagers support us while we go and investigate what's going on. They could probably even not only gather the wood, but take it.
Oh, I can go and talk to Mordecai. He probably would be able to handle that and help Balin with anything else on the ship that might need a lot of muscle.
Excellent. Yes, your brother would be immense help there.
Nemos, is he going to be a problem? I know he's still on the ship.
If he's in chains and they heeded my advice for their own sanity, at least, he should still be in chains. He shouldn't be a problem. I imagine the person he would most be able to be affected is standing before you now, so.
Okay, I'll go talk to him. And with that, I'll leave the tent and go and find Mordecai where he's at.
Not hard to find. Just kind of chilling around the village.
So I walk up to Mordecai and I'll say, Mordecai, I'm in need of help. And then for the first time, he's gonna switch to Elven language so he can talk in more descriptive and he understands him. And explain the ship, and it's in need of wood. The tree, where it's obviously location is the same location of where we were picked up, and hoping while we are taking care of the temple, him and a couple of the villagers could help our captain and tell him, or help with the ship while we're taking care of that. The only other thing is there is another Moonlight Elf on the ship, but he's a captive. He should be in chains. Karuna's explained to me that he shouldn't be a problem, but just be careful, just in case.
We will grab some men and take care of this. We will do what we can. Are they going to attack us if they see us? Or do we let them know that we are friends?
Let me introduce you to somebody that is also becoming a very close friend of mine. And he walks him over to Bolt, which I imagine is still in the tent. And Bolt, I'd like to introduce you to my brother.
Hello.
He is my family, and I was hoping that you could help me on another adventure and escort them back to the ship and help with the ship as we go and take on this temple.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. They seem like they probably be able to get around pretty good. So, yeah, okay. I can do that.
I would appreciate that much, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So, by this point, Midian, as a little bit of time has passed, Rowan, kind of walks over and he has this potions. So if you want to go ahead and, or somebody add a.
Yeah.
The first one is I don't know what it is specifically. I think it's antitoxin for the anti-poison potion or something. I'm not sure what that is specifically. But this one is just a potion of healing.
And
I can give
toxin, and then yeah, if you don't mind, Karan, go ahead and take that. Thank you,
Mhm.
Minion, for that.
Yeah,
You can take the healing potion. I
Okay.
figure I can administer the antitoxin.
Just
on
the
side.
simple greeting, the standard healing potion.
potion of healing. Yeah.
Potion of healing. Got it. Okay.
Let me see
Um,
here.
Rowan is going to turn to the group. Are we about ready? You think? Okay.
I just have to do one more thing. I'm gonna turn to Briar and
I will go with you.
Okay.
I'll be there. I'll be quiet, I think.
While you guys do that, I think Midian, if you don't mind, maybe writing down or providing some directions to the temple, so we can get
It is
there.
quite a journey to there. It is not far, but it is hard to get to. There is rough terrain, and it is a good bit away, but the jungle gets more dense as you go
Okay.
further, closer to the top.
That'll be fun.
It is, as you are come to this way, you are go what is called northeast from here.
Okay. Northeast. Got it. All right. Can't miss it. It's pretty big, right?
You probably saw it as you come to the island if you look good enough. It
Okay.
peak over top of the canopy. They are draw it very tall for to be seen and for to catch the light of the sky.
Okay. Thank you, Midian. Again, I really can't thank you enough for everything and your hospitality. Very, very nice and helpful. Thank you.
Midian, before you go, I don't know if you know, but Karon here is a herbalist as well. Maybe you could share some secrets with him, so I could have a piece of home when we leave. Would be merry. Would appreciate it.
You can find some time. I would love to.
I'm always willing to learn something. So long as I have the materials, I'd be happy to brew up something that is familiar to home.
He kind of looks up the sky through the opening of the canopy. The sky is groaning. There's a storm coming. Let me make your journey harder. But it will also make it safer. Lot of the jungle creatures do not like further storms. They will be hiding, and the junglers will leave you alone. If you try to sneak, they will attack you. If you are thump, thump, thump through the jungle, make lot of noise, they will leave you alone. But with their thunder, they are probably go to their house. As well as other creatures, they will stay out of the rain. But your journey will be hard in this.
All right.
So
Stay
as you guys
loud.
kind of, are you guys planning on heading out?
We have to do a thing first, me and Asher. Before we go, give us one moment, please. The family thing, if you wouldn't mind just waiting. Thank you.
Yeah, take your time.
All right, Asher,
this.
your decision. Before we do this, I do have a question for you. Does this only go to Korea?
It does. This belonged to her parents.
Okay.
And then I will cast message, and this time, instead of saying it my head, I'm gonna kind of say it to the kind of looking down in front of Briar. Korea, I wish I could tell you in a different way. Your father has returned to the earth and begun his second life. Briar and I will be returning very soon. I love you. I'm sorry.
There's just kind of a long moment. And another. Sure. What are you saying? What happened? I don't understand. Briar is there. I thought you were safe.
Fuck. I guess I will expend the other charge and...
She has 2 of her own as well, but she doesn't seem to be sending anything right now.
We are safe. We arrived too late. Briar was sent a letter of aid, and we crossed paths.
I know. If I say something, will she hear it?
Probably not.
Oh, okay then.
It's aware. Yeah.
Can you ask her to tell my Muyer?
And then will you please inform the group we will be... Briar's mother must find out. We'll be home real soon.
Please come back to me safely. It's going to destroy Siora. They were very close. I have not seen him in a long time. And I miss you. Come back safe.
That was
Really rough, and I did not want to be you. There's only one thing to do now, though. We take him home, and we put him where he belongs. And that is the biggest grace we can offer at the moment. But for now, I think it's time.
Asher's gonna start pumping himself up and
I'm gonna slap his bicep and we got this. We got this. We'll go. We got this.
By this point, the kind of Mordecai and the men that he gathered and also Bolt with them have been gone for a few minutes now, maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 or so, while you guys kind of had this conversation and prepared yourselves. And it kind of, you hear kind of like a ruckus around the entrance, and you see them actually coming back, and you hear actually familiar face, or you hear the familiar sound of the kind of obnoxiously loud. Well, now as you look at that, that's a sight. And in comes Balin, and he's kind of like muddied and kind of scratched, and he's got all kinds of different, like, he looks like he just like wrestled a thorn bush and just like wrestled the jungle. And with him is actually the two mercenaries, and also Corbin himself there as well. Oh, Bolt, are you a sight for sore eyes? Where's the rest of them? And he kind of like looks around, makes his way, and is kind of escorted by Mordecai and these men. Oh dearie, it's good to see you lot. I assume the worst. You didn't come back, worry. And like I said, you don't come back, I'm coming for you. So follow the trail as best I could, but yeah, that was a night. Ooh.
Well, thanks for coming after us, Captain.
Yeah.
What's
Sorry about that.
Oh. Yeah, that bloke there. Well, got a bit distracted working on the ship and all, and we did what you said. We brought him on top of the ship, and seemed to be, kind of comfortably laying there. I went below deck. Corbin went below deck. Don't know what the two knuckleheads here were doing. They were up on deck, and they just kind of like look away. I don't know. He was there and then he wasn't. That's all. And then he left. It's like he disappeared. It's like he melted him. It's like he melted the shackles and all that. You can see it right here. And kind of like pulls it out of his pouch, and you see it's kind of like was chain links, but like kind of melted at a point. And yeah, it's like he's just gone.
Well, I mean,
and it's almost like you had one job.
Well, that's not true. I had lots of jobs. Well, you had one job when I went down deck. And when I come back up and you failed the one job you had up deck, what are we paying you for? Well, listen, I didn't know he turned invisible. Yeah, well, I suppose I did leave that
the man's,
out, didn't I? But
the man's a lunatic. I honest and sure wanted to get out as soon as he could, so I can't. I'm not surprised that he's gone, to be honest. But
we certainly aren't going to have any advantage of surprise at the temple. I imagine he's probably returned there.
Yeah.
To Cathiel.
Well, Balin, we are on our way to the temple today. I know you came to find us, but that's where we're headed next.
Alright. Our ship's unattended, so I believe after a bit of respite, because that was a long night, a short respite, I suppose, I'm going to take as much as I can, muster back to the ship, and finish the final repairs. Oh, alright.
That was actually the area where Bolton my new companion Mordecai.
They came
was-
back with them. They had crossed paths and come back with.
Yeah.
with
No,
Bolt
I was
and Mordecai.
explaining to Balin.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna come back with you and help with repairs. You should have enough hands to be able to get the ship back into its original state pretty quickly.
Not quite its original state, but seaworthy. Right.
Get us on the the sea faster when we get back from the temple. So just anticipate it getting ready for our return. Hopefully, with your second in command,
Grismond.
Grismond, yes, the first mate. With Grismond and your team.
Oh.
Yeah, your boy. Your boy. We'll get your boy back for you.
Yeah, you know, I call him my boy because he's not actually my son. We're not even. I mean, he's a halfling. I'm a dwarf, but basically raised the chap. So means
He's
a
your
lot to
boy.
me. He is my boy.
Family.
We'll get him back.
Family.
Oh, and then Rowan's gonna kind of do a last fasten of the swords.
Okay.
Unless we get going soon, knowing Namos is probably ahead of us. Thank you guys. We'll see you hopefully in time for dinner. Maybe.
I will keep it warm for you.
And Rowan's gonna gesture to Elena, kind of like putting his arm on her back and kind of gesturing that we're moving forward. If
Corbin
she wants
kind
to
of
come.
like galumps and stumbles over there. Listen, I know that you said to stay on the ship, but what good is a ship if without its cargo? So I'm staying with you now.
What a shoe.
And Elena kind of just, Corbin, I think it might be best if you return to the ship and help as much as you can. I am in...
Always.
I love her. I just want to marry
He's just
her.
so confused. He's like a shoot away puppy. Like, go on, get.
Puts his tail between his legs.
Poor, and he's just again kind of just confused. But at this point, he's kind of just accepted that. And then she's just like, "I am in good hands, as you can see. I'm completely unharmed, and I believe that we will accomplish what we've came here for with their aid. And I believe your duty is there." And Corbin kind of just, all right. Once again, all right. Okay. Turns around and.
What did I tell you? He's totally a shoe.
What do you mean by a shoe? What is a hushed tone Rowan is going to say to Briar?
Listen, there are some people that only have a small purpose
Uh-huh.
and can only be used for so long. So think about how many people were in Jathriel's now position with this guy. He's not even very much wanted or necessarily 100% needed.
It's now gonna dawn on Rowan that he replaced Jathro. And Rowan is just gonna kind of like bust off his chest a little bit.
Who that dude?
Like, yeah.
Who ain't Jethro?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like he would own up, fill those shoes anyway, right? Right.
Right. He has very small feet.
You know you're worthless when the guy that betrayed you to pirate human traffickers is still superior to him.
Rowan still thinks highly of Jethro.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, it does mean a lot. So
He's way down here.
Ace is gonna kind of hear this conversation and kind of giggle and be like, "I always thought that just meant he had a kink to being stepped on."
Elena with her heels. Lie down, Corbin.
Rowan again confused. People like that.
Brian's like, I'll show you sometime.
I know. Don't take that away from me. Don't take that away from me.
I know your character too much.
You're getting in here with your own fanfic, sir.
I'm gonna like grab Rowan and be like, "Stay away from Briar."
You're a lucky man, and you know it.
If you value your innocence, you will stay away from that one.
You're a lucky man, and you know it. She rocked the world.
Rowan is gonna, and then just gonna
Walk away. Just walk away.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so are we heading out?
we're heading out. We're
To
heading
the
out.
temple. For brevity's sake, shortly after you leave the kind of grove, kind of as Midian had said, it does begin to kind of rain. Just a light, but it kind of accumulates along the canopy, and the droplets become large. What does make it through, kind of like puddling down into the jungle canopy, and it as you journey through, kind of like a steep, you're kind of grabbing like vines to climb up, and as it gets progressively heavier mud and such, it gets harder and harder to kind of climb up, and you're grabbing vines to kind of hold yourself and pull yourself through, like different, essentially mud. The undergrowth underneath the foliage has become kind of just like this muddy, swampy, sloshy mess. Saphira, we're gonna take a break soon, okay? And it takes a good, not even a good part of the day. It takes most of the day kind of just traveling there, and you begin to see kind of through the canopy and different like just different like kind of openings through the canopy, the kind of the top of this massive kind of structure. And the storm has kind of midway through picked up a lot and made, you know, the journey harder, and it's kind of gone back to how it was when it kind of first initially started, kind of died down a good bit, and you are close to the temple by this point, and that's where we're going to take a break. You are approaching the mouth of the temple.
Oh man!
All right.
Oh.
Yes.
It's clean.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That worked out timing wise. Good time. Good timing.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. So far,
So
good.
so much lore and so much role playing. It was
Yeah.
so great.
I
So
know.
great.
So fun.
Now let's kill things. Yes.
No.
Murder.
You guys get to try
Time
out
to
some
rip
of
a
your
heart out.
newfound abilities.
I know.
I'm excited to use my action.
Yeah, everybody, you do have access. Each of those little role play specific moments, chat, just so you know, was them getting their milestone and leveling up. So like with Karan and his phylactery, and Ace kind of already had his with battling Mordecai, and then also kind of having that conversation with Midian. Rowan with just sparring with Mordecai, and then Briar going through the journal and such. That was all, each of their kind of milestones at this point as we approach or as we reach the second half of episode 4. So
Break time.
break time. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Let's go.